good day, suckers. Welcome to the Three Marks Podcast. On the other side, I got here Jay Axon Jackson, my BKF.
What's happening?
Oh my God! And look at this, yo. After just being the greatest dad on earth, he finally came in to say what's up to us. Nick Papel, what is going on, baby?
What's going on, everybody?
Oh my gosh, yes. And you know me, you know KDB, aka Show Enough Shepherd, BKA. Don't touch me, McGee. I don't got anything special. I just happy that I got my car back. Now that we got all that crap out the way, um, yo,
Dude,
we had a
keeping it
very
real.
interesting weekend.
We keep it real around here.
Yeah, we
we
do. 'Cause, we don't got time
keep it
for that
real.
bullshit stuff.
Car trouble happens, especially in that winter. But
Dang right, dang right, doggy. All right, but yeah, we had a very interesting weekend, and we're gonna have to try to knock it as quick as we possibly can. We're gonna try to not be on this stuff all the time and like have super long reviews unless it's something that really had something important for it to hit with, and I'm hoping by SummerSlam we will. But
right.
we're gonna go over a few things, guys. We're gonna go over at least the um the King and Queen of the Ring, double or nothing at least, and we're gonna go in. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have a random question that each of us is gonna ask someone else. So it's kind of what we did today. We're not doing anything super fancy, but I thought maybe we at least try something a little different. But let's get right into it because right now, um, how do I put this? King and Queen in the Ring, solid, but at the same time, I was kind of like it was too obvious for me. Like, well, why? Like we saw Nia winning, excuse me, and then we all know Randy losing was a lie. I don't understand how they just did not catch the fact that his shoulders were up. I don't. There is no in between on that. I kind of just it made me want to kick the left, right, the middle part of that ref's ass. I was like, wow, how could you do that? But at any rate, let's see. Overall, let me see. There was a few matches that came in. It was a women tag titles on the. I think that was like on a pre-show or something like that. Good match. Couldn't complain about it. You know, Jay looking like the perfect chicken biscuit. I don't understand how it looks so good. Um,
Mm-mm. Chicken
whatever,
one.
whatever. As long as Jay don't listen to any of this podcast, I'm good. Um, let's see. I overall gave it like maybe a C plus. I wasn't like as much as I enjoyed the pay per view. I love the fact that Liv finally got her title win. I think probably that was my I want to say that was my moment of the night. I was expecting one more out of it, but for some reason I was okay with that. I would have said Randy versus Gunther, but for some particular reason that ending just where I get it, it just ticked me off. I was kind of like it was obvious, clearly his shoulders were now off the mat, but it was the referee's decision final. Shut up, Triple H. You knew dang well to look at that. Um, but let's see. The main event still, um, absolute classic. I think they did a great job on that. Honestly, the main event between that and watching the women's world championship match were the only two things I really got into. Um, yeah, and it was too like it was good. Like I didn't really I might have to say that I wasn't really sure who was gonna win it at first because it was a little too back and forthy for like half the match, which is cool. But at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, all right, good spot, good stuff. Cody wins, good job. Can't complain there. But I think that was it for me, Jay. What you think, man? Because you know how I feel. I was kind of like, I'm still disappointed over some other stuff, and I'm trying my best to be nice about it, but
Right. I mean, like right now, how I look at the pay-per-view itself, I give it a B
okay,
minus.
okay, okay.
Um, you know, like I said, we're going through the Dwayne Johnson, not their aftermath. And I'm the biggest rock fan. I'm sorry guys. And I was team rock when, but you know, we have to go through this. They were in Saudi Arabia. They ain't shit there. And sleeveless women, no sleeveless women. So
Yeah.
that's another grade down. You know what I mean? Because I like women with no sleeves, and Saudi Arabia needs to get over that. You know what I mean? Because women have arms too, and I like to look at them. And some other parts. So
Well, how
with
about
that being
arms still
said,
grow?
with that being said, it's just like that's probably why the show was a C to Keenan. Um, and I'm just being sarcastic, but being honest. Uh, I want to say this: Logan Paul showed out again. Show why he's going to become a future WWE champion if he's got that type of contract. Uh, he showed that he can hang with with this with this swim of WWE wrestlers.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like, because we're in nostalgia, we're in the influencer era in the world, and Logan's the king of that shit. But not only is he the king of being an influencer, he's actually shown that he can perform. And right now he's got a pretty decent storyline. He's kicked off the storyline with Randy, and then he's got the WWE Championship, and he's being like a uppity rich guy. Uh, Very relatable. So, congratulations on him for sure. I thought that was a good match. Uh, Randy and Gunther. I mean, like it was everything that you expect from a Randy and Gunther match. Yeah, I mean, big slaps, RKO's.
That's rude.
You know, Gunther's a is definitely red hot. Yeah, I mean, he's still hot after losing the Intercontinental Championship, and he's trying to show that he's more than that now. Yeah, I mean, why when and winning the Key in the Cage is amazing for him. Congrats. But I'm pushing for one more run from Randy. So you know, uh, we know we only see. I mean, I think Randy Orton's still red hot, especially to WWE and new fans. Uh, but they're trying to build up Gunther right now. They're trying to keep him hot because he just had a really long hot reign as Intercontinental championship. So they got the shoulders thing right now, and shoulder was way up high. I think it was a work, uh, for sure. I mean, I think that was part of the storyline, so no one loses their heat. So I mean, or actually they can gain more heat and push some push something for a Randy Orton and a Gunther thing or a Randy Orton and a KO thing, before SummerSlam. Uh, Nia Jax, congratulations. I think she's got something now. She was in the Royal Rumble a couple years back. Now she's queen in the ring, so I think she's in a better direction. Pretty decent match. Uh, you know, kind of expected. For me to be honest. Uh, so congrats on her triple threat match. Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn, Chad, and Big Reed, and I mean, like, I knew that Sammy wasn't going to lose either. I think, you know, uh, they're trying to keep the steam from his bloodline thing. So Sammy deserves to kind of keep this belt, but hope they just keep on this nice momentum they have with Gabe. Gabe needs to go full Kurt Angle soon. I mean, give him some henchmen. I mean, JB Elliott. They do a JBL and a Kurt Angle thing with Chad. He's got a good look. He's athletic as shit. He puts on great performances, and I think with this new storyline they're building around Chad, I think this can help him break out of his shell a little bit and get him over. Um, Liz Morgan and Becky Lynch. Um, you know, I don't really care.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't. You know, what I mean, yeah, Becky Lynch is a great performer. And stuff like that. But I think I think her gimmicks has hit a wall. It's just like what sucks with the what some of the women's division right now when you have like when you build a division around one woman, or around maybe two. I mean, Becky's like a third. I mean, there's Rhea Ripley, there's Charlotte Flair, and then there's Becky. And uh, Becky, she does great. She has great stuff, but her storyline's kind of staled. I think her storyline staled out a lot, like a, a few, like maybe I want to say even a year back, and she's playing the upset, but I am mad type deal. And I heard her contract's coming up. I think that's the reason why she lost it. And there's rumors that of a hop. Yeah, I mean, but or like people are putting big money in her face. And unfortunately, I still don't see her going to AEW. I mean, just like I think AEW is still growing. I mean, I think AEW can use her, but or maybe she's just going back to hang out with the kids. Yeah, I mean, Steph's out too, so get family time. Yeah, I mean, and maybe some rebuilt on her character. Liz Morgan, they got the Dirty Dom thing in there. I mean, um, I really want to see that custody match. I really do. They blame on me. I want a microphone in Dom's face, and I want to go back to mommy. And I'm like, oh my god, he looks just like Eddie. And it'll feel so great if they do it like that. But probably not. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna do WWE stuff, and hopefully but hopefully that turn into something. Maybe this will linger on while we're at while I really while I cannot I suck at her name and it's freaking American. Uh, but hopefully with Ripley they'll I mean hopefully while Ripley's recovering, I mean they can build off something from that match. And with the Jade with my girl Jade and Belair and they were the kickoff show. Yeah, I mean, they're just building up Jade, man. I think Jade's going to be the next thing. So it's just like they're just taking this time. She's got a women's championship, so she did jump a big loop. She became a champion fairly quickly. Um, hopefully this Jade and Belair thing goes well, and they just keep kicking ass. And maybe you'll see Jade as a woman. I'm banking on Jade because I think she's red hot. Yeah, I mean, I hate to ignore the other three women that were in the match, but I'm all Jade. Jade's been killing it. So, and I think it's going to be a great build up. So, I give the pay per view a definitely B. I like a B minus for sure.
All right.
And hopefully by SummerSlam we have something popping off that's hype off of these matches.
Fair enough. All right, man. Nick, it's up to you, man. You have the chance to give it the best or the worst grade possible. Give it a Q out of spite.
Q. um, no, so I maybe I'm not going to be as harsh on the pay per view. Maybe just because my expectations for King and Queen of the Ring kind of like Backlash. It's
Facts.
it's kind of like we know it's going to happen. There's no real big surprises. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's like par for the course, right? With the pay per view. I mean, it was a solid pay per view. There was nothing, in my opinion, that was drastically horrible about the pay per view. Um, sorry, Keenan, I'm not as mad as you are about the Gunther Randy match. Kind of with Jay, I think that was a work.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Now that
I,
I'm
I think
thinking
that's a
about it,
way.
but I'm like, just
I,
yeah.
I think I think it's a way to get because everyone expected Gunther to win, King of the Ring.
Mm.
Just because that's the path that he's on, right? He's gonna beat Damian Priest at SummerSlam for the title.
Facts.
Um, it's just the writing's on the wall. Sometimes pro wrestling, when you watch it long enough, gets predictable. Um, it's and then with the Randy thing, I think to Jay's point, being a work, it puts more heat on Gunther, which is perfect. You need him to have some heat. Damian Priest has been getting a lot of positive reactions, even though I don't think he's a baby face, I don't think he's written to be a baby face. Um, I just kind of think it's kind of happening naturally, right?
Yeah.
Um, with Randy's been a babyface since he's returned. He's been a babyface for quite a while. I feel like a heel turn's coming, and that's going to lead into a title match with Cody at SummerSlam, which I'm super excited for. Um, so, I feel like it's doing its job, like Backlash did its job. It's like slowly progressing, letting the dominoes fall in place, right, to take the next logical step forward, right? My highlight of the night is because I'm all about this Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. Um, is Liv winning the title? Um, to be honest with you, that should have happened when Rhea got hurt. I
Facts.
mean, it's to be honest with you, in my opinion, there was no point to give Becky the belt. It was um, how more perfect can it be to write the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour than Liv is the one that injures Rhea to where she has to vacate the title, and then Liv wins the title in the Battle Royal on Raw. Like there was no point to give Becky the belt, in my opinion. Now, if
Well,
you did it,
and she's the top three. You know what I mean? Like Becky's part of that top three in the
I,
WWE, man. And I
I,
think I think it's the only reason why she. It's
I,
like when when an injury happens that way, it's just like the pause is always to give it to
it's your
either a
safety
Flair or a
net.
Liv. It's like a
It's like,
sec. It's
oh, we know what she could do with the title, so let's just give it to her.
and give it to her, and then we got to figure something out.
But
And
then,
it's
but then
just
you're going to
like
take it off of her less than a month later, right?
right.
A month later, or however long it was.
Right,
Um,
like a month later, and it's just like, like I hate it when they do that. Yeah, I mean, like, either I think they, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, Nick, but
you're
it's just
fine.
like, but I mean, like, my thing is, it's just like if they would have did the Liz Morgan thing, like after Rhea got hurt, I mean, I think that would have been better. I mean,
Yeah,
man, and just but it's just like but like there's, I mean, like now me understanding the business a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, just and well, think I understand the business a little bit more. It's just like when it comes to that women's division, it's
I,
Becky's part of that top three.
I, I get it. I get it. I'm with you 100%. Like, I understand why they did it, but I think you could have written that in as a work where, like, because they've been doing the whole Dom slowly helping Liv thing, right? I mean, they could have started that back then. In my opinion, it would have been like, well, Liv cheated to get the belt, kind of, right? Becky gets a little, Liv gets a little more heat. Becky gets a little bit more, like Becky deserves a title shot. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And they could have gotten a little bit more, in my opinion, out of it, um, doing it the way they did it. Because I mean, Becky, you're hit the nail on the head. Becky's gonna go home.
right,
Seth's hurt. He's recovering. They have a family. You know what I'm saying? Like they've both been workhorses and been busting their butt for years. They both deserve the time off, right? So, and to be honest with you, like we said, giving Becky the belt was a placeholder. So it's there's there's nothing. I hate to say this for someone like Becky, but I just feel like there's no creative for Becky right now.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So, I think you hit the nail on the head. She's going to go home and sit down for a little bit. I don't think she goes to AEW. I think
right.
she's going to rest. She's going to be with the family, and then I think she's going to have an urge to come back at some point, and WWE is going to give her the contract that she wants because of like what you said. I know you said she's top three, top four horsewoman. I know they don't want to they want to forget that um, Sasha Banks ever happened, but she was there. Okay, don't clown on my girl Sasha, but um, she's there. She's one of the four horsewomen, right? She's one of the pillars for the women's division, right? To help made it what it is today. I get that 100%. WWE is going to take care of her. I'm not worried about that, right? Um, but I just felt like they could have got a little bit more out of a little Liv versus Becky before Becky headed out the door. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Um, but that was the highlight of the night for me. I mean, I wasn't expecting Cody and Logan not to put on a show. That was going to be a show. Regardless, Logan plays it perfectly. The frog splash to the table, love it. Um, the brass knucks gimmick, I love it because it works. It doesn't work. It adds a layer of comedy right to the match, to the storytelling. So I love that. I will say this: I need Cody to figure something out because I feel like The Rock called him out, or Roman, I forgot which one it is, for his weak ass crossroads. So now he's like, I'm just going to do three of them
Mm.
as my finish from now on. And I'm like, nah, bruh, you got to put some respect on your finisher. Doing three of them is not the answer. So I need him to figure something out because
He tripled down.
I get tired watching Cody get tired at the end of a 30-minute match, having to do three of those, having to grab him, spin the opponent, keep hold, stand up, do it, and do that two more times. Like I know Cody's tired. I'm tired watching him do it. So
I mean, he did bring back the vertebraker.
listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I I'm Vince. I have love and respect for what you did for the professional wrestling industry and how you grew this company that I've been watching ever since I was a little kid. Banning the vertebraker was the worst decision you ever made. Thank you, Triple H, for letting Cody do it. Anyway,
Thank you. Yeah,
um,
yeah, thank, yeah, yeah, thank, yeah.
uh,
You
uh,
know what? And yeah, thank you for saying that, Nick.
yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're
Because
welcome.
vertebraker was that move. But yeah, go ahead.
That the way Cody hit that vertebraker was. I'm telling, like, I don't even care if that becomes like. I know he's always going to have the crossroads, right? But
Right.
I mean, listen, and Jay knows this. One of my all-time favorite finishers that's super underrated that nobody does is test drive. Okay, if
Yes,
and,
yes,
like I need Cody to just evolve the crossroads. I don't even care
into
if
it.
he does the test and do make it the test drive. I don't care, but it's doing three of them. Like at some point, that's going to be because here's the thing, right? Is you're doing three of them. Eventually, somebody's going to have to kick out of that
Dude, like
because
my thing with the roll with Cody Roller, they need he needs to put some pop behind that bad boy. You know what I mean?
yes,
Like, you know what I mean? Because that's I mean he needs they need to sit still, let him take that arm and do a pop with that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like just give him one good pop. Like they need, when it comes to pro wrestling, it's about dance partners, man. Like that dance
that's what I'm
partner needs to
saying.
add that twerk with it. You know what I mean? Like that Turk, like bah. You know what I mean? Because when he does it, the first one looks lame, and then the second one looks all right, and then like the third one's like, all right then, Cody, thank you. You know what I mean?
Like,
Like he needs
yeah,
to get like
dr-
he needs to get
drop him
that Turk with it. That pop.
drop him on the top of the head or something. Like when Randy RKO'd RVD. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like he needs
like, like
we need one of those. Like you know what? Because the funny part is, it's like when Cody does it, you want to think test driver. You know what I mean? But like
yeah,
the first turn's always lame. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
if you know what I'm saying? Like the first one's like kind of cricket. And it's like, nah, nigga, put some pop on it. You know what I mean? Pop. You know what I
Yep,
mean? Like, it'd be like,
I'm
I
with
gotta
you.
roll. I gotta roll. I'm like, nah, nigga,
I,
if he just turned in like one good pop, one good Cody driver, then that'd been sick. That'd be sick. But
yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
just three of
I
them,
will.
just roll,
I,
roll, roll.
I'm with you. I will put my grave on the fact that he just needs to evolve that thing into his version of the test drive because you know I need someone to do the test drive. That
We need him
move
to go.
has been on ice way too long.
He just
Anyway,
needs to go
uh,
on. He just needs to go hill. Go ahead.
Jay, your next match, I need you to go ahead and hit the test drive. Okay.
I be, dude.
I,
There's so many super kicks and RKO's want to do in fights. It's not even fun. You know what I mean? Like that's how that's and
$35 super
I'm in
kick.
this. I'm literally in a situation, where I could do these things, and the only thing I've been able to pull off is a jackknife powerbomb in the third round, which was sick. But you know how many times I be thinking about super kicking a nigga and RKO on somebody in the ring?
Oh
That's
my
the
god.
truth.
uh,
BKFC, MMA, all that shit. I'm like, nigga, if you give me that neck, and like just like give me that neck, RKO. Like I just just going for like a double leg takedown. And I just push him against the cage. I'm like, yeah. I
Mhm.
be thinking about, but then that nigga hits me in my face for real,
but
and I'm like,
Oh my
okay, I
god.
can't do that. Go
but
ahead.
Don't let
no,
him.
no, no, you're fine. You're fine. But
Super
no,
kick. Like I be thinking about
so
it.
I, I was coming in here to give it um I was coming in here to give it a B plus as a pay per view. Um, I think I'm gonna knock it down to a B just because of being able to like hear everyone's thoughts about it. You know, run it back through my mind. It was solid, right? Um, not screw that. I'm going to B plus. Okay, Cody and Logan put on a show. The Liv
Right,
Morgan Revenge Tour is
right.
rocking the world right now. Um, Mommy's got to be home pissed because Dom over here running around with a little floozy while
Facts.
she out. Like, listen, Dom. I'm gonna tell you right now. I know you don't listen to the show, but if someone tells you about it, okay, I need you to know you fucked up. Anyway, um,
I want
mommy
mommy.
go, mommy go whoop that ass when she come back. Anyway,
We need that suitcase war, baby. We need that custody. We
but
need that custody match.
but that's where yes, we definitely need that custody match. I need it. It needs to happen. Belt or no, put the belt on Nia Jax to separate the belt out of the equation. I don't care. I need that match.
We
Um,
need that match.
but anyway, um, yeah, that's where I'm at with King Queen of the Ring. So
Bad.
All right. All right.
KDB.
All right. So let's see. All right. So the only thing, the next thing that was, oh yeah, the AEW Double or Nothing, and
Oh yeah,
oh man, I like a lot of great matches. Very intrigued by about 3/4 of them. I was like, okay, like when they did right in the beginning, Will Ospreay and Roderick Strong, I thought was a great pace setter. I was like, oh my gosh, and then MJF came and I was like, oh my gosh, what Triple H? What happened? All right, I was like, all right, cool, cool, cool. And then the rest of the matches kicked in. I was like, all right. Oh, they brought Orange Cassidy's old theme back. Oh, that's adorable. Why? And then what we go from there? They put the AEW Championship match, second to last match. I, I I get it because that other match was gonna just go everywhere. May as well just made that be the last match. I don't see that much as a slap in the face, but at the same time, it's kind of like you know what they gave it a great story during the whole thing, and give it up to Swerve because I was like, man, I didn't know what was gonna happen there. I was like, good job, Swerve. Happy, Pappy. I was happy, Pappy at that moment. Um, with that being said, I was like next to the beginning. I was really. Oh wait, no, hang on, no,
I was like, you're
no,
forgetting my highlight of the night.
hang on. I'm not even yours. Like the Willow Thickengale, yeah, that's what I call her, and
Oh my
Mercedes.
god.
And that was I gotta say, that was a great match. I thought maybe someone was gonna like mess that up for me. Like they won that straight up. I was like, okay, cool. Um, kudos to Mercedes for winning the belt, the TBS championship after that last little debacle that happened, with her ankle and stuff. I was like, yeah, it's kind of messed up, but I get it. um, what else was there? Oh yeah, the barbed wire cage match. And I was talking to Jay about it earlier, and I was kind of like, I was torn, but I understand. I mean, when you're 20 feet in the air and you're about to try to jump on somebody, and you got barbed wire in your hand, and you're about to just crash someone on a table, sure, you're gonna just stand on your feet after that and try to break your fall. Okay, that's a little sarcasm, but at the same time, it's kind of like I had to try to justify why I'm trying to understand. I guess maybe I'm just trying to understand. I thought maybe you lost his footing, but I thought if you just landed on him, that would kind of help brace that fall. And how he did it was kind of like I was like, all right, I'm a little worried that he did it that way, and I was like, well, he finished the match, and he didn't show anything about his leg being broke until afterwards. So I mean, I'm okay with it. I wasn't that wasn't my biggest match of the night. I was still on Thickengale and Mercedes because I was like that match went like that rival was going all the way up to New Japan's little pay per view when they were doing the women's strongweight championship and stuff, and I was like that was pretty cool. Um, I don't know, like I said, if you want to give an overall grade, I was gonna give it a C. I'll say B minus because overall those matches were still pretty good. It wasn't really actually a bad match on the card. There was just that one little worry I had about what Adam Copeland did, and I was like, other than that, I don't think it wasn't a bad match. Um, okay, hang on. Elephant in the room. Why would you set a man's legs on fire?
Yeah.
I didn't. I get it, cause yeah, it's better than the face, obviously. But hot dang, I was like, hold on. Like he literally looked at his legs, told Tony, "Move, sucker," and the next thing you know, just went to town on it. And immediately everyone
Hey,
just like sprayed like there's fire extinguishers immediately. Like they really thought that his legs were gonna melt by the time he was done. And rightfully so, because I was like, wait, why would you do that? I mean that listen,
Listen,
anytime we've done that
they're
in a
trying.
video game, they're dead.
though.
Listen, they're trying.
Yeah. I kind of what the hell they, and despite them doing all that, they still lost. So it's kind of like, oh, okay.
Fact. So
they,
But
then
they hung him.
you gonna put me on fire and still can't win the
No, we
match.
gonna hang you like Mississippi burning, son. I was like, hold up, wait a minute, put a little oomph in it. Why? Why did you do that? He looked like someone who got caught in one of them little traps in the woods,
Yep.
and then they super kicked his face with like some spike sneakers, and I was kind of like, that's kind of rude.
It's kind of
But I
rude.
was like, all right, well, you know what? I'm gonna give you benefit of the doubt. I still was like entertained to that extent. The IWGP Championship match was also pretty good. I almost forgot to talk about it because, of course, you know how I feel about New Japan and how that championship's being defended. Moxley literally did it with one arm, and I'm like, why? Like, if you don't got no arms, don't defend it. Like,
You got no arms.
you got no arms. Like, he literally was like, oh my god, look at my little white cast. And I get it, badass. Like, Moxley on any other day
Max,
is like just he is a badass. There's no in between. I'm not disrespecting him, but at the same time, you just look like you came out of getting your ass like getting yourself like in a gang fight before you got into the match. And I don't know, like if
when has he not looked like that?
fact,
that's a great question. I
He's
think
that's his thing. That's just how he looks.
fact.
I swear he has that all that wardrobe like in the house, and like Renee's
Nah, I
like,
don't think
look,
he's
put
got
this
much
on
wardrobe,
first.
dog. I think that's Moxley.
Yeah.
That's just who he is.
Right. That's who he is. I think that's who. I think the more and more I read up on Moxley, man, that's just Moxley.
All right. Well, as long as that's not what his wardrobe looks like in the process, I'm good.
As long as it's not a gimmick.
Yeah, like as long as it's like this hot dang man. Like
If it ain't a gimmick, okay. I
It
get it.
just as long
Okay.
yeah, I'm about to say it just can't be real life. As long as it's not real life, I'm 100% all for it. And I know I'll probably get a lot of slack for that one day. One day someone's gonna hear that and they're gonna give it to John Moxley. John Moxley's gonna cuss me out. Screw you, Keenan. And I'm like, ah, damn it. I pissed
I
another one
think
off. Uh,
I didn't mean to.
yeah, I did, but I mean that's
I'm just
not the
being,
point.
but yes, I just, so yeah, I did.
Yeah, I probably did, but you know what? I just that was it. I mean, other than that, that was my only real. I had maybe one or two complaints. It wasn't that bad. Setting someone's legs on fire was just not cool, but I get it. You already threatened it once, and how many people should have gotten burned the first time? He got lucky. He was just recklessly just throwing it out there. I was just like, sir, like you almost burned your friend. You almost burned the dude on your left and the dude on your right before you set his man's legs on fire. Tony Khan was about to get burned, and I looked at that. I was like, Tony, you better run. Run! And finally saw him running.
Run before they make it,
Yeah.
before they put you in the storyline.
Stop playing when
All
you're
right,
going to turn you to a song. Oh my gosh, no.
listen,
Oh my
listen,
gosh. I just,
Keenan.
hmm?
I'm just gonna go ahead and just let y'all know right now. The only like, listen. Will Osprey always puts on a show, right? That man's always gonna put on a show. I can't. I'm happy they put a belt on him. I can't wait till he gets an AEW championship shot. It'll probably be like a year from now, but it's gonna be fire when it happens. Okay?
Oh yeah,
No pun
I'm with
intended.
it.
No pun intended with lighting legs on fire.
No, please, please, no pun
Hey,
intended at
look.
this point. You're already under
That's what
fire,
he said.
literally, from what
He
I just
said,
said.
I
So,
was like, the second he
Listen,
said fire, I'm like,
like, it's gonna be an ongoing
it's
joke for
gonna
us for the
be,
rest of our
it's
time.
listen.
gonna be,
It is.
it's gonna be flaming
It
pants.
is.
See, there we go.
Listen. um, listen. If it was Jericho, he'd just lose his legs. He don't wear pants. Anyway.
Yeah, because that's
Um,
it. I mean,
That's
his legs are done.
shit.
Like that, at
Jericho
least
can't
that would
do
be
that.
good.
He don't wear
Good
pants.
karma at this point. If he
That'd
would have
be
wore
murder.
pants, you wouldn't have this problem.
If it,
All I'm saying.
he did it, if they would have did that to Chris Jericho, that'd be manslaughter because he
Yeah,
don't wear pants.
yeah, I know. Just this disappointment. I didn't even talk about the FTW
look,
championship match. Now that I think about it, I was like, because I didn't watch it. I didn't. As soon as I saw him not wearing pants, I turned my head and I saw who won at the end. I was like, oh, okay, Chris Jericho won. Congratulations. And I just kept going. You're not getting my comments commentary when you don't wear pants. It's that simple. You come in
Like,
there now the the cynical attitude of his, like where he thinks everything's just supposed to be positive, and I'm like, dude, I just want to slap him in his eye specifically. Like you don't see
man,
what
that's
you're
just
doing is
Chris
wrong.
Jericho having extreme confidence in his work. That nigga comes out with no pants,
Yep.
a funny ass gimmick, and that nigga is just on bubbly having a good ass time. It's I don't know. I mean, like, I think Chris
listen.
Jericho signing with AEW has. I think he's holding on to his word from when he signed up. You know, I mean, he's kind of like the Triple H now. He took on like an early on Triple H role, jumping to AEW and being the head guy. And I got to give him an A+ on what he's doing. I mean, I think he's doing his best to try to build talent. But I'm also thinking that he's just having a good time and he's working the platform that he knows has worked for him for the past fucking 30 years. You know what I mean? Which is him
Yep.
just being himself and rocking out on cruise ships with Fonzie. And I mean, like as long as Chris Jericho's in, I'm in. I mean, I'm like I said, like I understand the business these days, and I'm just like, you know what? He doesn't have to do what he's doing for those cats there. He
Yeah, I
doesn't,
agree.
Nope.
but he does.
Nope.
I mean,
Yep.
he's what I mean, and he has some, and just like every other fucking gimmick that's happened in the past 30 years, there's ups and downs, and there's gimmicks that don't work. Fractions that don't work and stuff like that. And he doesn't have to do anything with Hook, but he's trying,
He's
and
trying to
Yep.
build him up. I can see that part, and
one thing that
He's
Hook
part of
trying.
me
needs to
needs to
do,
build, but
one
it's
thing that
it's
Hook
just cool.
needs to do though is figure something the fuck out. You know what I mean? Because we're also, I mean, like it's the same thing that even professional fighters are stuck into. The tough guy thing is over. It's not overrated, but it's just like it's part of fighting, and it's almost like that template. So it's just like I hope that Hook finds his next thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can
He
suplex
he's
people, your
young.
dad. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's got time to figure that out. You know what I mean? Like,
That is it.
your dad's a badass, and he did a lot of things in the industry, and you're a badass. You can suplex people, but, you're going to have to find a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, now you're working with Chris Jericho. So it's just like, hey, you got these opportunities. He needs to I hope he humbles himself and and does something more with his find something more with his character.
Yeah, he.
As he goes on his journey right now.
Yeah.
I agree. He needs to take advantage of your opportunities, but um, I think he will. I just think, like I said, he's young. He's got time to figure it out. And I think the gimmick, like, because you look at him compared to everyone else, right? Obviously, you can tell he's young, but it kind
Yeah,
of gives that you know late teens, early 20s vibe of no one can tell me what to do. I'm invincible and I'll handle it myself. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of
right.
that vibe, that mentality. I think I'm with you though. I think it's working for right now, but he does need to start planning the next step and evolving, and I hope he is.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, because note that one thing that we do have to remember that you know what I mean, we got to let time play its role. Not everyone's gonna have as strong as pops as Randy Orton when he debuted. You know what I mean? And like the funny part is that what with some of these young cats, you know, I know me, I think me and you can agree we're all waiting for the next John Cena or the Randy Orton ride to happen again. But and I think Keenan can agree too. But at the same time though, how many have we had since those guys? We've had like five. You know what I mean, in the last 20 years. You know what I mean? We had John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista. You know what I mean? Which I think are the three that have done like the most out of all the other little champions in between the Ginger Mahals and the you
oh,
know or I can't even name five different champions before Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I mean before Roman Reigns. AJ Styles, but AJ Styles had fucking a TNA, literally a TNA legacy
Yep.
before
yeah,
he got
Seth.
Hey,
Seth, yep,
hey, as long as we
Seth,
ain't looking for like the next Ryback, I'm cool. Like that's all.
right, you know what I mean, right? But you
BP.
know, I mean,
Yeah.
ooh, you didn't have to do right back like that.
What?
But yeah, which is hilarious. I mean, he's got great TikToks, but it's just like we got to remember, man, like we're going to have fucking things that don't work out. I mean, hey, maybe, and what sucks, and I don't want to sting negativity on these young guys, but it's just like, you know, I know as a fan, I try not to expect, ruthless aggression or the most beautiful drop kick that I've seen in my life or the or or a shield thing, because I mean what happens to all these other after that, a lot of these people try to do that stuff and it happens multiple times and they don't do the same thing. you know the Nexus thing, now that's a TNA I mean, now it's a second tier show, but the Nexus thing was a group of NXTers and stuff like that. And then, but it took like 10 of them to do something
Yeah.
with it. And then we ended up getting Brian Danielson. And Brian Danielson got fucking fired at
He got
the
fired
season
twice.
finale of that show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
because he choked out the announcer with the freaking with the tie,
but
and then he got
he
fired for like a
deserved it
year,
though.
which was but what happens is that but who remembers the rest of NXT? So it's just like we go through these things, man, and it's just like maybe Hook, maybe maybe Hook will drop off in the next you know couple months or maybe a couple years or something like that. But then maybe he'll bloom out, almost like the Perry thing now. Yeah, I mean they're capitalizing on the drama with Jack Perry, and which I'm happy. I hope they do. I hope they keep continue to do stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, with the elite thing and everything like that. TNA's doing TNA's doing the best of what they got. I think the pay per view was pretty decent. I mean, like I want Malachi Black to finally bloom a little bit, and I hope they. I mean, and I think Edge is the right guy to do that. Yeah, I mean, especially where Edge is at right now. Um, I think that'd be a good time. That'd be a good time to build up Malachi Black, and
Yeah, Puerto Rico.
then we got the Scissor Team. We got the Scissor Team. I mean, they're still doing good stuff, and I love their freestyles. I love when they drop somebody.
I haven't
Uh,
heard from them in ages, dude. What happened to
well,
them?
they were on the show.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they were on the show.
Man,
Yeah,
that must be
they
when
claim
that must be when I took a leak.
they Yeah, the acclaim and the acclaim and Daddy S, they're still doing their thing.
Okay, well,
Daddy
I'm
ass,
thinking,
what the
yeah.
fuck I say S? I'm a grown ass. Um, you know, Swerve, Swerve and fucking Christian Cage. Come on now, man, that was sick. Uh, Cage still got it at 50. I mean,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
nuts.
I almost wanted to turn off my racism and turn Canadian. Turn Canadian because I want a Christian to win a little bit. I mean, like I think Christian will
You
have
a
a
Drake?
fucking dope ass fucking AEW fucking world title fucking run right now. I think he's pretty hot in Christian in AEW right now. Christian Cage. I think AEW needs to fucking jump on that. You know, uh, because I think that he's showing he's got moves, he's got mic skills. You know, I would love for Christian Cage to have a fucking AEW world title run, but I am I am in this kill shot swerve era right now. So let it hang, but I think Christian Cage should get it next. Uh, we got Mercedes. She's doing her thing. There's not really much to say there. Uh, you know, hopefully that'll give some the one that woman's I guess that TBS title of some shine for as long as they can give it some shine.
Yeah,
Um, John Moxley's John
can't
Moxley,
break
and
the leg.
he's going against people across a lot. Congrats. And yeah, and then we got that Australian that Will he won the international title, and congratulations, they're trying to build him up. Uh, but overall, I think AEW puts on great shows, and I will give this pay per view a solid B plus.
Okay, all right.
They
Nick,
just really good
Nick, you the only
wrestling.
one now.
They have really good wrestling.
Huh?
They really do.
No, I was gonna say you the only one now, but
I mean, I agree with Jay. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, like I said, I know we're still, and with Adam Cole and MJF, they had something fucking special in AEW. For that little while, man. I mean, they made a kangaroo kick, the stupidest fucking move I ever seen in my goddamn life. And I really is. It's so stupid, but hey, people's elbow, man. I'm like, God, they made it good. You know what I mean? Like, all right, go give me a kangaroo kick, nigga. That'd be tough. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be thinking about it. So I mean, like, I really, I really think that AEW is cooking. I think they have really great. I think they really try to put it shows that they try to put on really good wrestling in all their shows. So, I give it a B plus.
All right. All right.
Uh, I agree with Jay. I mean, AEW knows how to put on a show. It's when it comes to a pay per view, they still need to figure out the weekly episodic television model. Um, where I know it's not the easiest thing to do, but I know Cody's not there anymore. But AEW was built on the foundation of putting on baller pay per views, right? Like that was the inception of AEW, right? Was being able to sell out shows and put on great wrestling, right?
Yep.
So AEW is always going to do that. It's I know we talked a lot about everything that's going on. I'm happy MJF's back. Um, the one thing that we haven't talked about
Mm.
that was I don't care what anybody says. It was the moment of the night for me. Is the minute Gangrel's music hit.
Facts.
Oh.
The
Yeah.
gang, the minute you hear that beat, like those that little that little I don't even know what it is. That you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the lights go out and you hear that little and everyone's looking around and you can tell the audience is confused. I'm sitting here like they're doing the thing because
Mm.
on Dynamite they drowned Malachi Black in blood, right?
Yeah.
So
Look like
it's
good Kool Aid.
yeah, but they listen. AEW's trying; they're still babies, so they're figuring it out. But that music hit, and I was like, oh, they're doing the thing that WWE wouldn't let Edge do. Like that's what hit my like. It's like oh, Edge. They told Edge, it was like oh, nobody remembers. Man, all we do is remember.
Yeah.
All we
Unfortunately,
do is remember.
you don't
And
get it.
then when I'm going to tell you this though, the one thing I didn't remember that I forgot is how clean of a DDT Gangrel has.
Oh yeah.
When he popped up out of that ring and just started DDTing people, I was like, that was it for me. I got goosebumps now just thinking about it and talking about it. So we're getting the Brood back in AEW. I'm all for it. Um, that was the moment of the night for me was Gangrel. It was just like chef's kiss. It was beautiful. Thank you. Um, It's exactly. It just I didn't need anything else. Yeah, MJF came back. Cool. Will Osprey, you put a title on Will Osprey. Awesome. Dude deserves it. He always puts on a show. Uh, Jericho's doing his thing. Sure, whatever. Mercedes Monet doing things. Awesome. Great.
Mm.
Love it. Fantastic. Swerve. Keep doing your thing. You give me
Fact.
Gangrel. Oh yeah, we blood sucking around here. Let's go. Like,
Yeah,
I'll,
you're not
I'll
sucking blood, sir.
sign me up. I would listen. It is 1998 all over again, and I don't care.
Look,
I
look.
do not care.
My homegirl
That
that likes to
music,
interview with a vampire turned me off the Gangrel a long time ago.
I mean, look. I mean, like my thing is too, man. Like, man, that's what they did at AEW slipped the ball, man. Like they could have did something with Hardy, man. You know what I mean? And and with this, man, like that would have been, or with House of Black and Hardy, with the Hardy Fun House and stuff like that. Oh my God, they totally missed something there, man. Like
Yeah, I
uh,
mean,
that.
you ain't gonna
I
get
thought that.
anything.
I think that would have been gross. Yeah, I mean that would have been awesome. Yeah, I mean like that could have revived Jeff Hardy's career and everything.
The House of Puerto
Yeah, I mean
Rico
like
is it's just gonna be just that until we figure out what they're gonna do next in the next couple of weeks. So
anyway, I'm with Jay. B plus. It was AEW knows how to put on a show, and
they do,
then
man.
I just
and then bringing Gangrel back. Just
I have
you
to
know,
like I have to keep remembering that what they do is that they have their wrestling tell the story instead of the story outside of wrestling. I keep like forgetting that's kind of their thing. And I sometimes I don't know when to turn myself off and look at that perspective. So partially my
Well, we're
fault, but I will not
conditioned. We're
apologize.
conditioned. That's not your fault. That's how WWE and Vince McMahon conditioned us to watch wrestling.
Yeah, it's sad that we feel that way. Like it's like we really feel like
That's
we just came out of prison yard and somebody's trying to be the bottom bitch in all this, and it's not us. So I'm like, all right,
yeah,
but I get it. It's like I feel like sometimes I got to learn to turn myself off to that and be a little more open minded about what they're doing. That's different than what everyone else is, because everyone else is still
Right.
trying to build a story, and then I can understand and I can get with it. And AEW is not doing that, and I'm like, okay, they tell a story eventually, but they don't have to. Your wrestling does it for you, and I'm like, if I could just keep that in mind, I'll enjoy AEW a whole lot more than I should, or that I have.
yeah,
Well, I mean, my thing is like AEW is starting. AEW is so new.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like eight, and everyone's got to remember that. Like it's so new.
I mean it's
WWE
5 years
is
old.
making up so many fucking historical storylines. It's not even funny. I mean, like Cody's storyline is essentially Dusty Rhodes' storyline. Um, Randy Orton's storyline is essentially his dad's storyline. The Bloodline storyline is literally every freaking Samoan storyline. So they have so much. So they were, they are such the platform of what wrestling is. I mean, WWE is they're way back from when it was territorial, hard body territorial shit. You know what I mean? Talking about like racism shit. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like real shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I, like they're back to that time. Like even then, you know what I mean, when you had the Georgia and then you had the Texas and you had the stuff and then that'll be paid off that shit. You know what I mean? All those storylines, and then you got WCW and they got ECW storylines that still ride off what WWE is. You know what I mean? AEW is it's a brand new thing. You know what I mean? I mean
yeah.
that was pretty much Cody's fucking that was Cody Rhodes' baby tenet about him not liking his storylines in WWE. Mix them with the Young Bucks doing their thing as a tag team division and ROH and TNA and shit like that. And then you had Kenny Omega, who was the fucking renegade, who we thought was gonna be the next WWE thing, and he didn't. You know what I mean? They didn't give him a shot, so they fucking got together and they did this thing, and this is what they've been for the past 5 years, and they've been growing. They've been going through their ups and downs, but they're still going at a decent pace with the organic storylines that they've made on their own. I mean, yeah, the fucking Acclaim has the freestyle thing. Yeah, I mean that was so John Cena. But at the same time, though, those two cats were two fucking indie wrestlers that were still building their way up to the fucking to the ranks, and now Scissor Me, baby. Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny. Or I mean, but it's not my favorite, but it's dope. Yeah, I mean, because they drop bombs on people
Yeah.
on their freestyles, and it makes me laugh. I'm like, oh my god! And then that freestyle they had with about Stink, fucking great. I still love it. I still listen to it every once in a while.
mm.
And then but then you also have Orange Cassidy. Yeah, I mean, Orange Cassidy's gimmick would not work in that. It would have worked for fucking 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, but they've been able to make it into something to the point where I put my hands in my, I put my hands in my pockets. I want to kick niggas in the shins.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, like just, Jay, why are you doing that? I'm like, because I'm fucking cool and I can whoop your ass with my hands in my pockets. But
Yeah.
like that's a cool. I mean, like so that's cool stuff that AEW has. I mean, AEW's have been able to pull, or John Moxley trying to fucking free himself out from a corporation. Then he goes to AEW, and he's doing okay. He's not as big as an alcoholic. Yeah, I mean, but he's doing his own thing. I mean, and he's bringing up Japan talent. So I think AEW's at a decent direction. I'm not saying, I mean, I think people wanted to go faster than what it needs to go, but I think it's going. They got a video game already, and their paper. I mean, like, look, Samoa Joe, fucking, they even put him on NXT and WNA, but they were. I mean, it still didn't do what he's doing in AEW. In AEW, I think it's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, he's holding it down as our generational vet, and you know, now we got MJF, we got Swerve. Hey, Cowboy. Yeah, I mean, when Cowboy comes back, that's gonna be sick. So, I think TNA. I keep saying TNA because I'm so used to TNA being number two. But AEW is doing up. I think AEW is doing a way better job than they're getting credit for being the number two tier wrestling show in the world right
I agree with that statement.
Yeah, yeah,
now. We just got to be patient.
yeah. I think
Like,
that's kind of been my problem. Like patience hasn't been my strongest uh,
I'm
trait.
like, because these are organic storylines. These are storylines that we're going to talk about in the next 5 years. Yeah, I mean, and it's not. I mean, these are brand new, fresh storylines. I mean, like right now, AEW needs to pat themselves on the back. Cody Rhodes is the WWE champion. And that wouldn't have happened if he wouldn't have had his run, like had his run in AEW, or if he wouldn't have made AEW. If he would have stayed a crybaby
Yeah,
while he was on the Indies and was a cocky fuck, I mean, and wasn't patient, he wouldn't have became WWE champion. Yeah, I mean, instead he fucking showed that he can fucking he can help build a number two competition for WWE to full threat for, and then he became a WWE champion. AEW, we got to give AEW its respect. Yeah, I mean, like, like it's to the point where WWE is trying to cash out on their top wrestlers.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but AEW has to fucking stay true to their ground and fucking and continue their storylines. Yeah, I mean, aka Jack Perry and the elite shit. Yeah, I mean, and just see how it plays out.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into our questions, because I know we got to do that real quick. I have one.
Yeah,
I'm going to go into this one segment. Everyone's got 1 minute to go ahead and describe it. I'm not going to answer this question because everybody knows exactly how I feel about this, and I've ranted about it. What did y'all feel about the Sexy Red going in NXT? I'm not gonna say anything because if I anything I say is gonna come out wrong, I'm gonna end up on a diss track or something with him and BBL Drizzy, and I'm just gonna I can't do that.
I was going to kick it off with I don't have any feelings towards it. Jay, your turn.
Phillips or what again?
Uh,
No, repeat that.
Okay, so what do
oh,
y'all feel about Sexy Red hosting NXT Battleground and or introducing the Women's North American title?
Oh, what do I feel about it? I feel that she twerks her booty on TV very awesome,
What the?
and I like that. So,
I know.
thanks for twerking your booty on NXT like that.
Oh my
I
gosh!
appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's she's got good waves with it. I mean, and she's got good technique. When it comes
Daggone it,
to
sir.
the belt itself, what I mean, she twerks her booty, and that's cool. So, congratulations on that, and keep working.
Oh my
And that's
gosh!
how I feel about that.
I Why did I ask that question? Hot dang it,
I
Jay.
mean, you don't want to mention her.
we,
I mean, she twerks her
we,
booty really good, and
we,
I mean,
we were
I'm at
we were getting ready to dive into the next segment of the podcast, and you just had to
oh,
bring up old stuff.
I,
I mean, I'm
No,
just
not
saying.
you.
I
No, not
mean,
you. Not you. I'm talking about
oh,
Keenan.
okay.
oh
I mean, I'm
well.
not.
Or
I ain't
no,
no twerking was old, but I'm just like, she got the belt, she was twerking, and I'm like,
no,
this is
no.
tight.
No, it's like no, it's like we Keenan had it like to go take us to the next segment, and he's like, but I
And
gotta
you
ask this one question,
Because
and I'm like,
and
no,
and you knew where I was gonna go with this. Okay, I mean,
yeah,
you
you
knew where I was going with
Keenan, you and I both, you knew Jay's answer for this question.
it.
You
yeah,
like it was
I did, but I
You know,
couldn't help
and
it.
I'm sorry. I mean, like she twerks her booty, and
I
I'm
don't
like,
care. I couldn't
congratulations,
help
this
it.
is great. Like NXT
I
is
needed
hard.
an
I'm gonna watch
unapologetic
NXT.
answer. I swear it.
I'm gonna watch NXT a lot more because of this.
Oh
This
my
is
god.
tight.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
I'm like,
all
thank you,
right.
NXT. Thank But she twerks her booty well, and I hope she keeps doing that as our champion.
Oh well, I'm glad
Make
she's not into it
NXT
that
twerk
much.
again.
I really am.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick.
Yeah, that
That's
part.
Oh,
what
Snoop was a fool for that at
I love.
WrestleMania. Anyway,
It.
um,
I love. It. Anyway,
Yeah,
NXT twerk. Anyway, uh,
the twerk championship.
twerk, the
yeah,
twerk championship.
yeah, I got no feelings. I got no feelings. I mean, cool. We revealed another belt. Belt looks
Yeah,
okay. It's like WWE is not doing anything different with the belt at the moment, so
Yeah, it
it's
was a white version of the North American title to the brown version of what it already is. So I'm like, okay. So instead
oh,
of
we
being
put a white
doo-doo, it's white
strap on the
meat.
belt.
White chocolate,
right.
baby.
But they got a
Whoop
twerker
de
on.
do.
They got a twerker that goes. She twerks.
Listen,
What? Love, love.
Oh
North
gosh.
America, North America, baby.
Uh,
North America be twerking.
yeah, apparently so.
It's
I
fucking
mean,
awesome.
I hope y'all can still hear me.
I'll
My
say
headset
what I
just died,
said. I
so
mean, I'll say it anyway because you know what? If I get in trouble, so be it. I'd rather join the clan than deal with that crap. I don't. That just didn't make no sense to me. Now I will say in the most in the only thing I can say professionally, if she is truly actually a fan, then I will never stop anyone for being a fan and being on the show and doing what they want to do. But if all you came in there to do was to practice sex moves and put a belt over your head, then quite frankly, I don't know what you were thinking. Like, I mean, we could have found anybody on the street do that. The Godfather could have found us some hoes better than that, as far as
That
I'm
is.
personally concerned.
Wait a minute. I don't know though, man. Them hoes didn't know how to twerk.
But,
Not like that.
but I
They
mean,
knew
we
how to
could have.
just walk.
I mean, he could have found some in Florida, man. Like,
I'm just saying, like Godfather had hoes. You know what I mean? Like we have a champion, and
th-
she twerks.
oh my god.
I'm just, I'm like,
is my sound
I don't
horrible?
see any, I don't see any, I don't see any Godfather hoes twerking like that.
Well, you know what? We never gave him a chance. They were in the '90s. They didn't know how to do that back then.
I know, and we got one. Okay, I'm not calling her a hoe. You're gonna get me on record saying that.
No, 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 never that.
Never that. But what I'm saying is, whoop that trick.
Oh my god.
Whoop that trick. Okay,
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I almost
I think
regret asking that question, but you know what? I got it, and I'm okay
it's
with it
fine. It's
now
a cute belt.
because now we get
It's
everyone to
cute.
hear exactly how you feel. That's all right.
What I'm saying is a cute belt. I think it's a great belt,
Yeah, I think it's
and
all right.
I think it's all right. Yeah, I mean, like North America. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
America, North
I
America.
didn't
Fuck
understand that.
yeah.
That could have
No,
went without.
All right,
North
sorry, I'm back. My
America.
headset died, so I had to
I got it.
Oh dang, how
figure
dare you?
some things out.
All right, let's move on. What are we doing?
All right,
We gotta
so
answer.
let's
I
go
gotta answer
into
another
our
question.
thing.
We gotta
So
answer one question.
the last section of our show today was just to go.
Whoop that trick.
Excuse me. Everybody was going to ask one random question, wrestling related or whatever, to it was like who do we say we got who? Nick, you had me, I had Jay, and Jay had Nick.
I got
Yeah.
Nick.
All right, so I'm gonna let let's see, I'm gonna let Nick go first. I'm curious
So
to
I'm
hear how
asking
you
you.
had all week to ask me this question. I'm just gotta figure this out.
You ready?
I don't got no choice but to be.
KDB.
Mm,
If Mark Henry
oh God.
was a skinny bitch,
Oh
who
no.
would your favorite wrestler be?
Oh, ow.
Yeah, these all. Yeah, well, you
Whoa.
make
He
Mark
waited
Henry a
all
skinny
week for.
bitch. That's hard.
Whew. If Mark Henry was the skinniest dude alive, and I had to have another, um, damn, does it have to be in that era? Can it be in any era at this point in junction?
It could be at any era at this point in junction. Yeah, it
Okay,
could be at any era.
that broadens my horizons a little bit. Thank God, because there wasn't too many Big Brothers other than the Big Show, and I just could not stand him. I couldn't do it. Um, the all right. Oh, this is gonna be a tough one. Keith Lee or Big E were the only two next to. Okay, hang on. There might be one other. Um, I wanted to say Yokozuna, but that after I watched that documentary, I kind of was like, dude, like, all you had to do was stop eating. You know what? Never mind. Let me not get into that.
What about Rikishi?
No, he bothered me. He put a booty in
Okay.
everybody's face. I wasn't with that at all. Heck no, no. I no. If any no, if I ever had to meet someone in another place, and I know it'd be the dude that would put a booty in your face while Jerry the King Lawler is making fart sounds in the background, I couldn't. It couldn't be him. Absolutely not. I would rather Kishi be the
Okay.
skinny one at that point. No, that just sounds over there. Okay, so yeah, Keith Lee or Biggie would have been my dudes. I want to say um, Shane Taylor also because he's a big bastard and he can knock brothers out, and it just felt cool when he did it. And he has this slap that and I don't care how anyone feels. It's probably the second rudest set of slaps I've ever heard in my entire life next to Gunther. I have heard some rude slaps from this man, and
So
it's it's just kind of up there. So that would be my answer as far as that's concerned. I can't
so
really.
so you would have made it through the Attitude Era to make it to Keith Lee and Big E without sexual chocolate.
I don't know. Like honestly, I probably would be less of a mark. I probably would have stayed as with Stone Cold Steve Austin at the time if I had to deal with skinny people all my life. I would have said Chris Benoit, but we all know how that turned out. And then the only thing next to that was Eddie Guerrero, and then now we all know how that turned out. Everybody I picked has died, and that's kind of just messed up. And like
It
that's why I'm
is.
scared. Like if
Let's not
I'm
put that.
Armageddon, I'm
Let's not
thinking
put that
these
on Mark
bitches
Henry
gonna
now.
leave me, and I'll
All right.
cry like a little girl at some point in time because I know I will. I already know how it's gonna turn out. Everyone's gonna act like everyone's gonna have to call me and ask if I'm okay, and I'll be like, nah. Dude, what are you doing right now? I'm watching a Mark Henry video. Leave me alone. It'll be something stupid like that. I'll just never hear the end of it. And because that dude was my favorite. I don't, I mean, the only one next to Mark Henry was D'Lo Brown. Only because I knew D'Lo Brown was legitimately a badass. Like I actually remembered hearing stories about how D'Lo Brown would just basically have no problem whipping anyone in that locker room without hesitation.
So
That was a man's man. I was like, yeah, get gone, sir. Like, calm down. Do it again.
there you go.
Do it again.
there you go.
That'd
All
be it.
right. Keep,
That neck joint, that neck crank, man. I was like, yo, you can't stop that. Every time I try to do it, it hurt my damn neck. I was like, golly. Whew, okay, let me stop before I can keep going. I can go on for days. Um,
all
oh,
right, KDB.
all
What
right,
is your
I have a
question?
question, and this is supposed to go to Jay. So Jay, get ready.
Right.
This
All right.
question actually is more something you could probably answer relatively because you have been in independent circuit before. So,
Right.
all right. So, do you feel a difference between being in an 18 by 18 and a 20 by 20? And if you do, what is that difference that you feel in it?
All right. Okay. I've been in a few rings. Um. I'll tell you this right now. It's um. It's the running of the ropes.
Mm,
Um. Because especially since we're now in a new era of flippity flop, flippity flop. Yeah, I mean, jumping off the ropes is like a must. Uh, and that's why like there's a debate. Yeah, I mean, because you got to jump higher, or you got to jump longer, or you got to run longer. Yeah, I mean, and that causes that either causes a shorter ring causes uh less room less room for big spots. Uh, so I say I'll say this: smaller rings are great because there's less running of the rope. I mean, there's less distance to run across the rope, to run across to hit the ropes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but that causes faster paced matches, and that means that most of the matches, the most of the shine has to happen in the middle of the ring.
Mm. I always wondered.
So
I
I mean
actually
that.
always wondered that question. I was like, you know what? I know someone who might answer this answer. So you know
Yeah.
what? That's
So I
that's
mean,
not a
like
bad
I,
one.
yeah, I mean, like it's about a balance of the match. Like if the ring's bigger, that means that there's more action that can happen between corner and quarter. But if the ring's smaller, that means that most of the act there's got to be a ton of big spots in the middle.
Okay. It
You
has to
know,
like stay in the
because
middle.
because there's less running, so there's less timing to communicate in the ring. So you know, and that causes fast paced matches and and uh, and kind of brings up the tempo for for the match if the ring is smaller.
Okay.
But I mean, that also can cause even better high spot. I mean, better high spots because there's less, there's less area, there's less area to jump or less length to jump.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so most of the action stays in the middle of the ring when the ring's bigger. Yeah, I mean, that's when there's a little bit more time for breathers. Yeah, I mean, and more time to set up things. But what brings more room for error because of you know for spots. Yeah, I mean like like the inches for injury becomes I believe this is just my opinion becomes just a tad bit higher. Yeah, I mean because the ring's bigger. So if you put someone 2 inches or two inches too far, I mean that can cause more of a botch than if the ring is smaller. I mean it's like okay, it's right here. Only thing I do is just jump off.
Mm.
I mean jump off the turnbuckle and land. I mean, but if you slam someone down a couple, more towards the center in a bigger ring, that means the person who's doing the move has to do have to be more athletic to get there. I mean, or have good memory to know that you're in a bigger ring.
Mm.
I mean, so if you're not Rob Van Dam, you better put me here.
Yeah.
I mean, and if we miss it here, that can tear up the whole match.
Yikes.
I mean, or whatever. I mean, so yeah, that's what I mean, I only had a couple matches. I mean, and my matches were in the same ring, but I fought in bigger rings, and then compared to smaller rings, and I fought in smaller rings, and when I fought in the small rings, I loved it because like we're staying in the pocket, so it's going to be fast paced action. There's less room to work, or less room for you to run. What I mean, or to make distance for me.
Mm.
So that's how I see bigger and smaller in situation.
Okay. All right, Jay. You the last one. Got the last question.
Nick, simple, and you're European. You're a European guy. You're my European champion.
Mm.
Who is your favorite European champion?
You don't hear me?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
bit, Nick.
Okay, because like my headset is like it's I'm hearing the sound off my phone, but I think the mic is coming from my headset. It's weird. Anyway, um, who's my favorite European champion?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Better say Mark Henry.
This is
Because
a tough
he's
question.
because like, look, a European Championship had a short run. I know who my favorite European champion is. It's very obvious when I say it, but me being around Nick for so long, the European Championship was his thing, and I know it's because he owned one, a replica, but he's
Yep.
also because that nigga's Italian, so he's. And I'm like, well, I've always wondered. I mean, we've had some great ones, you know what I mean, but who is Nick's favorite European champion?
So my favorite might be just because it's a little bit more sentimental. Um, Eddie Guerrero is my favorite European champion.
Okay.
Um,
I had a feeling.
the
Yeah,
reason why um, is that was like that whole thing he was doing with China. There was the birth of Latino Heat. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that was Eddie like starting to realize his full potential. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a
Mm.
little bit
yeah,
more into it than just the belt because, I mean, the British Bulldog that we had, that introduced us to the belt was heel Bulldog with the, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have the tassels and the boots anymore. It was the like the
yeah, Gene.
denim jacket and all that. I mean, but you think of the people who held it. I mean, I could have gone Shawn Michaels, right? Um, I could have gone D'Lo. Um, there's just like, I mean, you could have gone really any, but for me, it's Eddie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with Eddie. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like yeah, I mean, like, but I mean, because that I think that was Eddie's breakout.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like that was Eddie's boom. Yeah, my guy, my favorite European champion guys, William Regal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Makes
think
sense.
William Regal. Yeah, I think he was one of the last champions at that time, and I think that was during like the WCW invasion season. And
Yeah.
and it reminds me of like a Gunther thing, but even better. But I think William Regal's was way better. I mean, the brass knuckles thing that evolved the brass knuckle gimmick. When he was holding that belt, and then he'll go on and win the Intercontinental from there. But like, I think he put a lot of prestige on that belt. But fucking yeah, I go with Eddie. I mean, because like I said, that China storyline. I mean, that China storyline, and that was WWE's Latino heat for sure. Yeah, man, that
It
started
was
with
a
the
good
European
story.
Championship.
It was a good story. I couldn't complain.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
and you played in No Mercies, man.
because I mean, the list that you have, I mean, it's Bulldog, HBK, Triple H, Owen Hart, D'Lo, X Pac, Shane, Midian, D'Lo, Jeff Jarrett, Mark Henry,
That's right.
Val Venus, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Eddie, Perry Saturn, Al Snow, William Regal, Hardcore Holly, Test, Matt Hardy, The Hurricane, uh, Bradshaw, uh, JBL,
Yeah,
Christian, DDP, Spike, Jeff Hardy, and RVD. Like, there's a plethora. Like, for as short of a reign that the belt had, right? So we're talking what, like 97, 98, somewhere around there,
Mm.
to 2002. So about 5 year run for the belt, 4 or 5 year run,
Jeez.
um, which is not it's not that long at all. But to have a list of that many different superstars holding the title, the belt was getting action. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I say
yeah,
like the European title is one of those really one of the most underrated belts because that thing held multiple people held it multiple times. It was always bouncing around from champion to champion. Um, no one really had a what you quote unquote like a long run with the belt.
Yeah, no one had a full
Which means
grasp
it
of
was which means it was always getting defended,
it.
right? And that's something that doesn't happen anymore. Is belts don't get defended that often.
Yeah,
Right.
Like it's like we got to build up the storyline to lead to the pay per view, and then we'll defend the belt at the pay per view. And I'm like, you got to defend the title more than just on the pay per view. Like
Right.
it's and um, it just it was different. Everyone loved the Big Eagle. Everyone loved the Oval IC title. People had like their favorite belts, the Big Gold, like all this stuff, right? It was like, nah, it's the European title. It's like it's a little niche. It's a little niche, right? It's different, but it's defended a lot,
yeah,
right? And
Right.
then you're able to give people title shots and put the belt on them on someone you might normally not put belt on, right? Like D'Lo, like not to disrespect D'Lo, but WWE wasn't going to really put a belt on him like that, right?
yeah.
So I mean, they put the European title on Spike Dudley. Who's going to put a belt on Spike Dudley? Like I'm not trying to be disrespectful and stuff like that, but that's how WWF and WWE operates, right? Or they did operate. It was, it gave opportunity for someone who may not have had opportunity, and then it gave someone like Eddie the platform to become Latino Heat and actually become the Eddie Guerrero that everybody remembers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I loved Eddie back in his days when he was ECW and WCW. Like the Halloween Havoc match he had with Rey Mysterio. We could spend the whole episode talking about that. Um, that was awesome. But the Eddie that everyone remembers is Latino Heat, and that
Right.
came from his little fling on-screen fling with China in the European title. So yeah, I know it was a long-winded answer to the question. Bet y'all wasn't expecting me to just rattle off a bunch of names of people who held the European title, but
No.
um, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Eddie.
Nah, man. I want, like I said, I've always wanted. I mean, I've always wanted to know your real answer on the. I mean, because uh, every time I think of the European title, I think about my nigga Nick. So like, and the funny part is, I just never. I mean, like, you know, what I mean, like, I know your favorite wrestler's Taz and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But the European title, like I said, the European title had a good run. So I mean, like, I always knew who held the belt. Yeah, I mean, I know, and like I said, I always knew my favorite, which was William Regal. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
and I know it's my race just because he's European, but at the same time, though, I mean, like real shit. Yeah, I mean, he held it down for them Europeans. Yeah, I mean, he was a really great wrestler, and I think and he put some prestige to that title for sure
yeah,
for
yeah. No, he did.
wrestlers overseas. But you're so correct. The big pop from the European belt from the Attitude Era was when Latino Heat held it. Yeah, I mean, and that's when it was it was almost about to get a little over than the Intercontinental belt at one time. Yeah, I
Yep,
mean, and so and that I think that's because of Eddie. So yeah,
yep.
I agree.
Great question.
Oh yeah, okay.
All right.
Well, guys, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, man.
Is that a wrap? That's a
We're trying
wrap.
to keep it as kosher as possible, or at least as quick to the vest. But let me see what our number. I don't. I think we did better this time. I can't complain either way. No, no,
Well, I mean,
we're still at 2 hours. Never mind.
well, well, no, things are gonna get dope, man. Like, note that I am talking to local indie wrestling shows in the Florida Pasco County area. So I'm gonna be chatting with them. So we're gonna start going. I'm gonna start trying to make this live, man. I mean, I really would like to talk. I mean, I would love to try to give the indie pro wrestling workers some some time on the show too, and talk about their journeys and things like that. You know what I mean? So we got some. I got some decent plans
All right.
I'm putting in the works
Okay.
as we speak.
Awesome.
So we're gonna like I said we're gonna dig into all of it, man. including of course, staying on the hot topics of WWE and the AEW and TNA and everything. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get some indies involved, and yeah, it's gonna be dope.
All right. Well, you
Sounds like
know
a
what?
plan. That's awesome.
All right. Look at
To
that, man. Jackson said so, and that's all there is to it. All right.
right, and also remember watching all my fights on the BKFC app.
Oh yeah.
But
You
because
better
J
get it,
Action
or
Jackson,
else, or else. We all
or
come. We,
else.
we told you we coming in gorilla outfits. We coming for you. You understand me?
Nah, I mean, like I said, I had a conversation with a cat, man, and
Oh,
and they're putting my names, and they I said like, it's cute to have my name up there with some of the guys up there, and I'm like, hey, man, I appreciate it. I
all
mean,
right.
I'm just working hard. I mean, I'm just trying to work as hard as I can,
Well,
and and it's cool that yeah, 'cause I played in both pro wrestling and now in professional combat sports. And, the stuff is great. I mean, and there's a lot of stuff that I learned from pro wrestling I take in with me in BKFC.
all
So
right. Fine. No gorilla
like I said,
outfits.
I can't wait. I can't wait to mix it up a little bit.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Jay, where can they follow you?
Uh,
Yep.
we all still there.
Yeah.
I think
Dang it, Jay.
I think I died. Nope. Edit this
Jay,
part.
Don't lose us just yet. We're still on.
I'm
We were chatting.
Yep. Edit, edit
you
that
there,
part.
Jay?
But anyway, yeah. But yeah, I think my headphone died.
Oh God.
I know,
All
right?
right. Well, where can they follow you, Jay? Where can they follow you real quick before you everybody else dies real quick?
Right. I don't want to die.
Jay.
But yeah, Action Jackson, fucking keep watching us. We'll be back next Wednesday and shoot
Oh my
some pro
God.
wrestling shit.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm up at KDB Designs, man, and I don't know where Nick is. Nick, where you at, bro? Because I keep hearing everybody else. What about you, man?
We keep dying. Our headphones keep dying. We're having technical difficulties.
All right. Well, you know what? You know where you know where you can find us here at Just Remarks. And this is KDB. That's Nick with the big energy, and that is Jay Action Jackson. We will see you next week, and
Next
hopefully,
week. I'm
hopefully, you guys will have some questions for us. The reason why we did this is because I want y'all to come in there and ask questions too. This is just to give you an example of what I would love to hear from you guys. So please do not be afraid to get a hold of us. Do not be afraid to answer any questions that you might have and anything just in general, because Jay actually has some experience. I've watched stuff for years. Nick has done stuff for years. So do not be afraid to get your hands dirty and just get on a freaking keyboard and tell us what's up, man. Tell me how you feel. All right, we are out of here. Y'all take it easy. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace.